Pampered by the Ruthless Underground Boss. Chapter 1: Imprisonment. On the day Khloe Evans was put on trial by her fiancé, it was raining heavily. They had spent 4 years from falling in love to getting married. She had always believed that he loved her deeply and that their married life would be blissful. But on their wedding day, he personally put her on trial because of her stepsister's words. Inside the silent and solemn courtroom, the judge's gavel echoed, signaling the start of a tense moment. Khloe Evans, you are suspected of bribing competition judges, academic fraud, and attempted homicide. Do you plead guilty or not? Khloe's bloodshot eyes were filled with anger and desperation, staring at Eric Watson, her fiancé. She couldn't help but sneer. The Watson family was one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the country. No one would dare to offend them for a nobody like her. Khloe said word by word, I have nothing to say. All along, she thought Eric was the love of her life. But it turned out he had been having an affair with her stepsister, Sloane Evans. What was more, he had stolen her academic achievements. And now, he falsely accused her of being a murderer. He was ruthless. What else could she say? The judge banged his gavel again and gave his verdict. The court hereby sentences the defendant, Khloe Evans, to 8 years in prison and a fine of $300,000. The trial concluded and the prison guards escorted Khloe. As she walked out of the courtroom, Khloe turned and looked back at Eric, sitting in the plaintiff's seat, her eyes burning with deep hatred and fury. 3 years had passed. Khloe Evans, someone has bailed you out. You're free to go. Upon hearing that, Khloe raised her head, her pale face filled with shock. After suffering from endless torture for 3 years, she had thought that she was bound to stay there for the full sentence. She didn't expect that she would be released one day. An hour after she was released from prison, Khloe was taken to a hospital. She entered a ward, and her heart clenched when she saw her mother through the ICU door, lying motionless in the hospital bed. With a pale face and various apparatus connected to her body, she looked lifeless. Mom? Khloe got all worked up, her voice trembling with emotion. She wanted to open the door and go in. Stop it. This ward is specially secured. No one is allowed to enter without my permission. A female voice suddenly rang out behind her. Khloe turned around and was surprised to see the person who spoke. Sloane? My mom severed ties with the Evans family long ago. Why are you still doing this to her? As she spoke, she glared at Sloane with eyes full of hatred. Sloane looked at Khloe, a flicker of jealousy and disdain flashing across her eyes. Then, she sneered, Khloe, looks like you are mistaken. I'm saving her. Without me, your mother would have died long ago. Perhaps, by the time you come out of prison, you will only see her tomb. Khloe took a deep breath to calm herself down. Sloane, stop being so hypocritical. You are saving my mother? Only a fool will believe that. What are you really up to? You're using her to manipulate me, right? Khloe, you're as clever as ever. No wonder they called you the rising star of academia. But it's a pity that you are now a convict for attempted murder. And your fate is in my hands, Sloane taunted. So, today, all you need to do is spend a night with Carl Russell. Then, I'll arrange for your release and your mother's treatment. Carl Russell? That old man is already in his 60s. Are you out of your mind? Khloe's eyes widened in disbelief. So what? Should I care? It's you who are going to sleep with him, not me. As long as you spend one night with him, our family can secure the Russell family's arms deal. It's a very lucrative business. You should feel honored that you are selling out your body to make so much money for us. But if you refuse, Sloane pointed to the ICU. I'll have them remove your mom's life support, and she'll die right in front of you. I'll give you 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3. Fine. I'll go, Khloe agreed in despair. This time, she could no longer suppress the tears she had been holding back. She was left with no choice. For the sake of her mother, she had to do it. After freshening up, Khloe was put into a car. Tonight, she was destined to sleep with a 60-something disgusting man. And she was still a virgin.